Hi, I am Kedger on two wheels, and today is the test drive for the Honda CTX700. And seriously, it's not quite as ugly as the idiot photographer from Honda made it seem like. It's actually quite composed. This is not the naked version, this is a full-fared version. And here in Portugal it has a couple of extras, which is the tall windscreen and the side cases, which are not mounted at the moment, but they come as standard because of, maybe it's always like that, maybe it's only for the start. I'm going to start riding now, and I'll do the walk around later. This comes with DCT, so this is going to be a nice 2-in-1 test drive. It has been landed by Lineaway. So, here goes nothing. Whoa, hang on, let me just put my keys somewhere safe, because the magnet's not very powerful. Okay, so, whoa, it's way short. Check it out. I jumped onto it like I did on my NC700, so I karate kicked over, because the NC seat is here and this one's much lower, so I went like, wah! It's easy to get on, the seat is pretty wide, it's really comfy. I like this position now. There's no brake pedal. Oh, right, there's no shifter because this is the DCT. Brake, oh golly, oh, this is weird. So, oh, hang on, let's start her up the way we do with the DCT, which is, it's in neutral, it's started. Now click this one here to choose drive, and let's go. This is really weird. This riding position is so, where's the this is so weird. Yeah, it's already in seconds. So, very first impression, the seat is awesome. This is a huge difference. So, I like the seat. The position is very weird, but it's very weird, but I'm actually enjoying the seating position. I seriously am. I understand why Harley riders like, or chopper riders like this arrangement. It actually works pretty much, it works much better than I expected, seriously. And this rides very nicely indeed so far. I have no idea what these grills here are, because I seriously doubt this has a speaker system. I can hear the DCT working under me. Let's see. Ooh! Ooh! This is nice! Check it out. I'm in second gear. Come on. Now I'm in thirds. Let me just do the roundabout and I'll show you this. You can see the dash down there, about 5 miles away from me. See, I'm in third and I'm going to floor the throttle. Second, and I didn't even feel... Hang on, that was weird. So that's what the double clutch transmission does. Let me explain. What happened was, I was in third gear, right? So I pushed the throttle down. And then it said second, but I was actually still in third. And I was still accelerating. And then I felt the gearbox clunking down to second. And then I felt the clutch clunking down to second. All the while I was still accelerating. I did not lose any acceleration at any moment. And I clunked down to second, so the shift was actually perfectly seamless. So that's what the dual clutch does. I'm still engaged into one gear while it is clunking onto the other one, and it only jumps down to the other one when it's actually properly engaged and no longer slipping. Wow, I have to say I am impressed. This is quite nice. Let me just open the visor slightly because it's starting to fog up a bit. This is very comfy. I don't know how my back would be because I'm a bit curved forwards, but I do not believe this would be an uncomfortable bike to ride in for a moment. There's quite a lot of turbulence hitting the top of my helmet though. And it's so smooth. This bike has the same engine as my NC700s, and the reason why Honda didn't upgrade this one to the 750 engine is because the upgrade to the 750 engine for the NC750 was to remove the NC700 from the A2 license in Europe. So A2 riders would go to the CB500s and non-A2 riders would go to the NC700. So the NC700 wouldn't be eating away the sales for the CB500s because it's a generally better bike. Thing is, this one was kept on the lower license level with its 48 horsepower because this way an entry-level rider has a chopper to choose, or a cruiser, or whatever you call this. And it kind of makes sense. And I'm going to be honest, I thought that this was incredibly ugly. Really, really retardedly ugly. And it's actually not. It looks nice. It doesn't look awesome. The NC700 looks absolutely fantastic, but it looks pretty nice. And I do believe, and I'm seriously liking the way it rides, and I do believe this can actually be a very nice bike, a good winner. So I'm tired with the D. The D mode is the fuel-saving mode, the calmer modes. But let's see if I can get some spice into it. To change, I just need to flip the switch forwards, and it's sport now. Ooh! Immediately drop the gear. This is that was me grabbing the clutch. Awesome. Yeah, that's very weird. Not having a clutch here is really weird. And you can feel the gearbox right under your butt going clunk, clunk, clunk. Oh, in sport mode, when you're upshifting, you can feel a slight jolt, but it's very slight. DCT is kind of like you have a professional racing driver shifting for you. You're riding and then your pillion is shifting for you. So you don't have to think about it. It actually works pretty much better than I thought. I hope this has ABS. I'll try it out. Yeah, it does have ABS. I like this one. I really do. Honestly, I'm thinking I might have gotten this one instead of the 700X if there was one. Maybe. Maybe not. This does not have that front storage space I love so much. That's the guy with... Ooh, what a kick! See? This goes really well. Now let's see the brakes. Brakes are nice. It feels different from the 700X because the seating position is very different. The way it is distributed is very different, and also the front has less give. It's stiffer. It's way stiffer. Ooh. Yeah, it brakes well enough. Could brake better. The XJ6 brakes a lot better. The MT-09 brakes a lot better, but this still brakes well enough. Sorry about that. I was confused as to where to go. Couldn't really make up my mind. So I am going to go. Where am I going to go? I'm just gonna cruise around because this is what this is supposed to do. It's not a sporty bike, and it doesn't have a sporty handling whatsoever. It's heavy. It feels heavy and stable, which is nice. Mine is easier to flick. This one is a bit odder to flick. It feels stabler, heavier, sluggish even. So I suppose it does feel like a cruiser, but the first few degrees it's pretty easy. It's really easy to ride still, and it doesn't still all this stability doesn't instill confidence. So I'm actually quite enjoying this one. So let's search for a nice place to do a tiny walk around. And I chose a horrible place to search for a place to do a walk around. So I'll just keep on riding for a bit. See, shifted down. Oh, I can also change the gears manually. There's a trigger behind the left grip and there's this trigger here. And I can also choose to turn off the system and go into manual, which is a trigger here. See, it's this. This changes it into fully manual, which I don't want because this is nice. And I can shift up. Up. Doesn't let me shift up. Let me shift up, you dick. Oh, I'm too low in the gears. But the only thing it does not allow me to do is shift up when it's too early. Ooh. I'm impressed. I'm enjoying this, actually. I thought I was going to hate it. It's so nice over these speed bumps. The suspension is stiffer. You feel these bumps a bit more. The bike jolts a bit more. But on the other hand, even though the suspension is stiffer, the seat is much softer, so it cushions these harsher blows from the stiffer suspension. So it actually works pretty well. I'd say it is more comfortable than the NC700, especially because you're lower, so when you're going over bumps, you're not going like this, which is what usually happens with the NC700. And you're in a really comfy position with these feet forwards. It's not sporty, it's more for longer touring. So I like it. I didn't expect to, but I am liking it. Seating position is, as you know, a chopper. The hands are in a very neutral position, so it's very relaxed. Although it's super odd braking without using the clutch and then putting your feet up again. It's really weird. I love this DCT thingy. It's fantastic. It is. Should have got one with DCT. It's awesome not having to put gears on. And it rides just like a normal bike. What's this? This is the fuel. So the fuel tank's here, and this is a little thingy. No, there's a huge storage. My wallet almost fits in there. This is a joke. So that's why they give the side cases, because there's no storage whatsoever on this one. Yeah. Goes well enough, turns well enough. It is an NC700 underneath. It's just slightly different. Now I can search for a nice place to do a walk around, and I have just figured out where. Let's just do a slight speed run, see how well it goes at high speeds. No. The manual shifting things are a bit hard to get unless you're already expecting to use them, because my gloves keep rubbing on them when I try to touch them. It takes some getting used to, I guess. Other than that, everything seems to be the absolute normal and standard for the NC700. It's got the same mirrors, the same good mirrors. It's got the same everything, really. I am going to stop up ahead, not here, not yet. It's a bit expensive here. It's 9,000 euros, which is quite a lot of money. That's because of the DCT, which adds another 1,000 euros to the bill. So if it didn't have the DCT, it would actually be 8K, which is still a lot since the NC700X costs 6.2. So it's pretty much more expensive than the NC, which is very disappointing because it is a nice bike, but I'm not sure it's really 3,000 euros more of a bike than the NC700X. It's more or less the same. See, thing is, being more or less the same means it should cost more or less the same to be a valid alternative. I actually jumped off the seat here. Now this is a good place for a thingy. Okay, I'm in first gear and I'm going to drop and it turned off. So I dropped the side stand and it turned off just like a normal bike. How do I stop this? Say I'm in first. Yeah, I'm in first. Oh yeah, I push here for neutral. Neutral. Now I can drop the bike and leave it running. This is a clever system, I like it. Turn it off, turn it back on, and roll the key. So let's do the walk around. I hate starting the walk around from this side, and I always do. Don't know why. So it's not as ugly as the picture shows. Seriously, the guy who took that picture should be taken out and shot. It's horrible. The photo that Honda shows it, because it actually looks nice. It has a VFR-ish front optic. That tall windscreen is an extra because the original one is a really tiny one, like this big, which should be enough because seriously this is pretty tall and it should protect you well. I didn't feel any wind whatsoever, so you have awesome protection from the elements. This little thingamajig here also helps protect from the elements because wind beats here and goes around your knee. So there's the engine lying down as usual. You can actually see the engine better than on the normal NCs. I think that's the starter. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, stuff. Here's the brake, which it's a really weird configuration for me, but hey, whatever floats your boat. The exhaust is different. It's different. Okay, looks nice, but I actually like the look of this exhaust pretty much. Very silent though. But I do believe you could put an awesome aftermarket exhaust here, and then it would sound like mine, decent. Hey, maybe one of those Danmodo exhausts would work here. Probably work very well here, and you'd leave that cover on to cover the ugly pipe and just have the carbon exhaust sticking out. Because a cylindrical exhaust would look nice. Okay, so same thing, exactly the same thing as the NC700. You have the wavy rear disc, which is part of the inner part of the front wavy brake disc. That's exactly the same. I have the same width tires. Everything is basically an NC700. There is no storage here, as I've showed you. There's a tiny compartment where my wallet might fit, even though it has a gap here. See? Oh, look, I'm going to put 2 fingers in. Check it out. Ah, it goes all the way in. It's actually, whoa, this compartment goes all the way up here, so if you had a nunchuck, you could store a nunchuck here. This is a joke, seriously. Okay, that's why they give the top case. It's really thin, so even with the cases go like this, you could still go commuting with it. This could work as really well as a all-day commuter. So if you want a NC700 to go to work every day, this could be a very good alternative to the X. It's automatic, so it's not frightening to new riders, but it's a horrible bike for new riders because you don't learn how to shift, so I wouldn't recommend that. But if you're really a new rider and you're not comfortable with gear changing, well, you can get this one. Just remember, you're not going to learn how to gear shift. So there's that drawback, but it's got good protection from the elements, no storage space whatsoever, so you'll need side cases and or top cases. I'd put all, even though a top case here would kind of ruin the look. But it does look much better than I would think. Much better. And when you're behind it, it looks beefy, looks big. So it's kind of like a scooter for people who don't like scooters. No, I like it. Not in black though. I wouldn't put it in black. But the black is not flat black, it's a bit shiny. It has those little tiny crystals, so it does look nicer. Don't know what this is. I'm going to have to ask what this is. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. So, walk around is done. I like the stoplight. It's a bit different. Same indicators as the... Oh, no, these are not the same indicators. I like these indicators better because these are yellow. I really dislike the usual indicators, which are white, and then there's a yellow light in there, which we call that the fried egg, because it does look like a fried egg. These are better looking. So let's... There I go again. Flipping my leg way higher than necessary. So, neutral, drive. Oh, I have to start it. Now I have to D. Heard the clunk? This is a regular gearbox. It just has an automatic... I'm sorry. I started and I was going like this. Where are the foot pegs? They're here, you idiot. And I can't go down here. This is way too tall. This is way too tall. I'll try here. Oh god. Ooh. Yeah, I jumped out of the seat. Whoa, this is awesome at low speeds. Wow. If you can actually make your... If you could choose the model to do your riding test on, this would be an awesome one. Could make slow speed maneuvers. This is great. It just doesn't go anywhere. It's really easy to ride nearly stopped because of it has an even lower center of gravity, so it rides really well. Look, I can go nearly stopped with no dramas. So yeah, this makes a good filtering machine, because as you filter through cars at whatever speed, you don't have any issues with it trying to lean over anywhere. Let's see how drive copes with full acceleration. Oh, it's smart, it still copes. Here's the deal, I'm going to do a full acceleration with drive. No, let's try with sport. See how fast this goes. Not to 100. It goes fast enough, I'd guess. And it leans nicely too. Brakes! Yeah, the brakes are very good. Very good. They work well, very well indeed. There's really no need for bigger brakes here. The other time I felt the ABS, I was pushing the rear pedal too hard, which is an effect of having it facing forwards, because when I'm braking my weight moves forward, so I tend to push on the pedal forwards because the pedal's up there. So this is actually a 3-in-1. I'm first time riding a cruiser, first time using a DCT, and the CTX700. This is an enjoyable bike. I think, even though with all the criticism it got here in Portugal, because it was like, oh god, that's fugly, and I was one of those, this is actually a good one. It's not... It could be prettier. Yeah. The guy who designed this clearly did not do this for our markets. But that's not as bad as I expected, seriously. It's bad, okay? It's not a pretty bike. It's not the prettiest of bikes, but it's not completely horrible. The picture really doesn't do it justice. See? Look, I'm filtering with a huge ass bike. Wait. And I shouldn't do this because I don't know where the foot pegs are, and once again I try to put the foot pegs where I'm used to and I smacked the ground. And my feet are all in the wrong position now. Okay, they're reset. Takes some getting used to. But I would be more comfortable taking this on a really long trip than I would on my NC700X. But I would be a lot more comfortable taking my NC to the twisties than this one. Different purposes. Different purposes. Okay, there's one problem with the DCT. One thing I really hate. This car in front wasn't moving and I wanted to politely remind him that I was behind. So I wanted to do a little rev up. No can do. If you try to rev your engine on this bike, you're going to shoot forwards. Unless you do, oh, thank you for being on the phone. Unless you turn it into neutral, which I'm going to try and see if I can turn it into neutral when I'm moving. Yeah, this works really well, nice for filtering. Unless I can turn it into neutral while I'm moving, you cannot use your right hand as a horn. Sorry, I was trying to figure out where this guy wanted to go. Not really sure he does know where he wants to go or what he wants to do. So let's see. I want a safe place to try and put it into neutral while moving. And I have no idea what's going to happen when I set it back into gear. So let's go. This is too fast. I want to go slow. Okay, this is a good place. Well, I'm stopping because if I brake, there's no one behind me. So let's go into neutral. Nothing happens. So you cannot put it into neutral. So you cannot use your engine to rev. Should Harley riders be required to have DCT so they can't be revving like maniacs at every stoplight? Huh? But it leans. You cannot use it sportily, but it's not bad handling either. Even though I've only been going straight, as befits a bike like this. I'm going to try some twistier places. Up next. I don't have time to take it to the twisty, so I won't. What I'm going to do is take it in town. So we're in town now, and oh, a Ferris wheel. And I just did a small pit stop for the Portuguese channel review. You guys are. I got a crazy lady screaming at me for some reason. I'll put a link here to the relevant part on the Portuguese review so you can check it out. It was just what? She just starts screaming at me about codfish and stuff. I don't know why. So yeah, this is a typical horrible road we have. It's very bumpy. It's basically isolated stones and very bumpy, and yet I'm cool. You can hear my voice trembling a bit because the bike is shaking quite, and you can see the windscreen here shaking, but all in all it's not uncomfortable because the seat keeps my bum stable and comfy. So this works in town. I've tried a few tighter places and I have to start going back. I'm just going now to go seriously old town here. Going left, going left, going left. Sorry man, but you did not have your indicator on. Now going right. And see how this goes here. So, sorry for not showing you in town or just showing you a little bit, but I have to also do the Portuguese part. So, hey, what's that? Guys pedaling on surfboards? That's new. It works pretty well in town. Okay, oh, there's a guy doing a test drive for the MT-09. It works pretty well in town. A regular bike in town, a naked, the X, the S, etc. will do better, obviously, right? But what the fuck are you doing? Jesus. Okay. Obviously, a more standard bike will work better in town, but it's really not that much of a difference. This probably works as good in town as a big fat ass super sport like a liter bike. It's okay, it's perfectly doable, no issues whatsoever. And the only issues I've had with it being a bit wide in the turns is probably because I'm still not used to it, so I'm a bit leery of leaning it too far. So riding wise, it's good, it's very nice. I really like the fact that I can go nearly stop with this and have no dramas. Look, I'm just going to annoy the fuck out of this car behind me and go like 5 kph, going as slow as I can. Still no drama, still no drama, still no drama, still no problem. What? Problems. And then I just have to put my feet slightly down because the center of gravity is so low. You just need to think about going with your feet to the floor and it's balanced. So it's an awesome bike for a beginner, but due to the DCT, a beginner is going to not learn shifting, which is bad. But if you are a complete beginner and you are overwhelmed or scared or afraid of not being able to cope, well, this is just about the easiest thing I have ridden, apart from a 125 scooter. Seriously. Doesn't have enough power to make your rear skid under acceleration, and the geometry of it will prevent that. It has ABS, so you can just slam on the brakes and not fall like I'm going to do. Oh my god, I have to brake. See? I just grabbed a handful of brake and there was no problems whatsoever. Just some jolts reminding you that you've been an idiot. And it's easy to turn. It's stable, so you don't feel like it's going to fall over. You feel like you're 100% in control because it doesn't move under you. It does what you tell it to do and not much else. And if you have to stop slowly, it's very easy, and you have to put your feet down. Look, my foot's actually bent, my leg's actually bent. So there's no issues with anything. It's a good starter bike, except you're not going to learn how to shift, which is bad. That detail is a really horrible idea. Want to see a cyclist getting run over? Go on, get killed. Go get killed. No? No? Idiots. So yeah, I like it. So guys, I just stopped here, returning the bike, and I have to say I liked it. I wasn't expecting to, but it's actually a nice bike. My bum is hurting a bit though. I'm not really sure why that is, because the seat is really comfy. Probably I'm not used to the position and I'm sitting on my tailbone, so it might take some getting used to. But the seat is comfy. Look, it's so... See how deep it goes? Oh, and the pillion. You have these foot pegs. I'll just try and sit on the pillion and look like an absolute dick, but I'll try to do it for you and see how a pillion seats himself. Hey, Jesus Christ! Oh, a pillion's going. Yeah. Oh. Okay, a pillion with. Okay, a pillion with a riding pants is going to have some problems because this is a bit tight. I'm very tight here. I have my knees nearly up to my elbows. A pillion is going to be sitting really far back, or it's a tiny pillion like a woman or a kid. Kid's going to love this seat. Yeah, so good things. It's a NC700, so you cannot go wrong with that. Fuel consumption is going to be NC700. That's a good thing. Awesome wind protection. Very comfortable. Very easy to ride. Easy as in newbie friendly. Dual clutch transmission. DCT is awesome. And the brakes are not a good thing. They're good enough. Could be better, but They're more than adequate. You're not really going to need more than that. Oh, ABS is good. Oh, ABS is always good. Bad things. It's not as pretty as it should be. Seriously. Could have been done a better job. Like all the NC700s, the levers are not adjustable, and for some riders that's important, for others aren't. For others they aren't. But I found that on the NC700 the brake lever here is a bit more forward than I'd like to. And more bad things. Rear seat, the seat for the pillion is a bit small, and there's no storage space in the front. There's a joke of a storage space here because they put the fuel tank here so they could lower it, because usually the fuel tank is here exactly and it stops here, so they have to put the seat over it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Cage, you're out.